YouTube, how we doing? Past the prop back here yet again. We're on week 9 already. It's our Friday show, ready to talk about Sunday's games. Stu, back with us. How we doing, man? How's everything going after another shitty primetime game, huh?
Doing good. Yeah, just been trying to keep up with the underdog notifications, trying to catch up to all the news that's been going on this morning. But yeah, pretty good. Happy Halloween as well. We've been talking for like 10 minutes before this. Didn't even mention it, forgot about it. So that's fun. Nice holiday. I was trying to get a Halloween costume this morning. I failed. Unfortunately, Target did not have any left. So that was probably expected, but it is what it is. I'd we'll be fine. No, I don't need a costume, but I got invited to something last minute. I was like, oh, let me see if I can find something. And then I guess the whole rest of the world had a similar experience. So an unfortunate, failure to start the morning.
Yeah, no, I have one too tomorrow. We have a thing with some friends tomorrow. And it's like, fuck, dude, like I ain't got a costume yet, so we're going Goodwill shit tonight after.
Good move. It's a good move.
So because dude, some of that shit, bro, is like so crazy expensive. I'm like, why is this shit so expensive? Just because you know that I need it right now, and you're just gonna try to get me on that. But fuck, dude, it's kind of annoying, but it is what it is.
But yeah, hey, besides that, we got a good slate to talk about this week. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm excited, obviously, and ready to I guess dive into it and hopefully get some winners today.
Yes. So I know we did something a little weird last show, and that was we posted our plays on the show, and I knew we would have probably another one, so we did post one in the comments. So hopefully you guys were able to pop in there and catch that. I know I posted about it on Twitter. So we did cash in on the Ravens money line, and then the under 56.5. And I mean, after like maybe the first 7 minutes, it looked in jeopardy, right? Because they had 10 points. And then obviously you get Miami to do what Miami does and turn the ball over everywhere on the field.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting one, obviously. It wasn't even like Tua was not even as horrible as I thought he'd be. He was just like moderately mediocre instead of like really bad. So yeah, I had a bunch of Ravens alt lines as well, like I talked about on the show, like I wrote up as well. And it's funny when you bet an under and then you also bet the alt lines, you kind of expect one of those to lose. So just the fact that they could both come through was very nice. So yeah, I mean, it was an interesting one. I feel like I kind of nailed the game yesterday again. So at least it went kind of the way I wanted it to. Just a lot of the prop stuff was stupid. Like Keaton Mitchell, if you tailed those like touchdown or the last TD, like he only played the last play of the game though. Derrick Henry played the full fourth quarter. Like it was crazy. Like there was no reason for Henry to be up there. Every drive they sent him back on the TV. I guess they were saying he wanted to get 100 yards. I don't know if that was speculation. That seems a little silly for a guy like Derrick Henry, as good as he is, to be like, oh, I need that triple digit number. But I don't know. It's just so bizarre. It's like, do you not watch Isaiah Pacheco get hurt a couple days ago doing the same thing? Like the game was over in the third quarter. Like the Dolphins gave up punted at the end of the third quarter. So that was annoying. But, still it was a pretty shitty game overall, I guess.
Yeah, no, and it's kind of funny because Henry really hasn't been that good this year, bro. Like in terms of yardage, even last game, he looked like shit. So maybe he's got some incentives. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm 168-pound John Harbaugh, I ain't saying no when that boy walks around and tells me he's going in the game. I'm more afraid of him than Keaton Mitchell telling him he wants to get some reps in. So he's thinking about himself. So I'm fine with it because I ain't trying to get in the way of that dude either. So.
It's just like, damn, like you guys are trying to, do something this year. Like Henry doesn't need to be playing blowout snaps. This guy's fucking 80 years old. He's got fucking wear on those tires. So that was annoying. But you can't really control stuff like that. As long as you can generally, I think, get in the right ballpark, it's a decent enough call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I gotta get my quick rant in here and talk shit about just because it came up because I did a live show yesterday myself. For the NBA streets, and I did take Curry yesterday. It did hit. That's not my issue. Bro, this NBA fucking late news, bro. I'm fucking done with that shit, man. Giannis rules out 10 minutes before the game. Fucking Christ, dude. I had so many of my clients that are like at my actual job, I guess we could say, go to that game. And they were paying premium, bro.
Yeah.
And hey, shout out to the Wizards giving us Ryan Rollins, bro, for swiping that shit. Dude's a homie, man. I talk about him. I talk about Dennis, man. When they were at Toledo, you guys know I'm probably the biggest Toledo Rockets basketball fan in the world. That's not from Toledo, right? I'm literally a whole other fucking state. So
not alumni.
But I'm out there, bro. You guys knew I was out there. You can go back 3 years on my freaking videos. I was talking about these dudes forever. It's just nice to see them pay off. Ray J. Dennis getting run out there for the Pacers as well. I know they're all injured, but he's putting up numbers as well. And then, hey, shout out my boy Ryan Rollins. I have all of like those little thumbnails of him in the Toledo jersey that I was posting every single time I rep with Toledo. So shout out Ryan Rollins, 32-8 against his old team in the Warriors. It was cool to watch.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I just tweeted about him the other day, but I love the guy. Like, once again, we got caught, or not, I didn't get caught. He got caught stealing from the same Target I used to, like when I was in college. Just crazy. The guy was Googling it. I was like, holy shit. So it feels like forever I'm like connected to this guy. Like we are at the same place, doing the same things. Once again, only one of us went down. Unfortunate for him on that one right there. You are an NBA player. I guess you draw a little bit more attention than I do out of public. Although me and Ryan Rollins are the same height, so I don't know. But either way, yeah, it's very funny. I'm glad he's killing it. I wish he was killing it for the Wizards, but like we've had a million guys like that we just bring in, let go. Like we're in that kind of phase. So I'm not like, how could I be mad at him succeeding out? Like we were never gonna develop that. We got a billion guys to worry about. You know what I mean? So I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's on your team and doing well. You guys obviously desperately needed that position.
Yeah, with KPJ. Oh yeah.
You need another guy there that can just be a bench guy, help out, and do the little things, and that's kind of what he does very well. And obviously now scoring a little bit too. So yeah, a little NBA in there, but obviously been a nice run.
Yeah, it was. Just had to get that in there because I know he's getting a lot of love on Twitter, and obvusly well deserved. So other than that, I did lose my straight bet of Washington. Please. Tua, tell me why we throw on 50-yard tanks down, couple scores. You're on the 40-yard line. You just throw a 50-yard Hail Mary. What the fuck are we doing, dude? Into double coverage, mind you. I know Jalen Waddle's out there somewhere, but fuck, he ain't big, bro. He ain't winning those 50-50 toss-up balls. So, yeah.
Did he end with 3? How many did he end with?
He had 3 catches. He had 3 or 4 carries.
Yeah,
that's the shit that killed me. Was that? So,
and also, other Washington, Taj Washington.
I did see that. He popped up on the thing. I'm like, nice. He's got to catch the start. And it was, really? Really? We're going to do this to me.
I thought Taj was still in fucking college, dude. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know he was on this team. So, yeah, that was an annoying start as well. And then, like, I don't know. I said it in, like, week 2. These fucking distinctions between like these check downs that are like at the line of scrimmage being carries this year, it feels like it's affected my bets like 80 times more than any of the last couple of years. Because I mean, Malik had a couple close ones there that are like, is that a carry? Is that you can't even tell really from the TV, you know? So always unfortunate when it's something like that. But the game script was correct, you know. It's just you got Tua turn the ball over, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was. And he almost threw another one, too, that Roquan dropped. But, hey, give my quick shout-out to my boy Roquan. Catch me another one.
Yeah.
Fucker had, like, 10 tackles through, like, 20 or, like, maybe 32 minutes. Like, it was, like, first drive after half. I look at it. Oh, fuck, 10 tackles, bro? Sheesh. So that was nice to see. So I had my parlay of my 2 boys, and that's Brooks and him 8 tackles at plus 110, dude. Oh my god, dude, that shit was so nice. That was done quick.
It was weird. I opened up my app and Roquan tackles was like 7.5 minus 150, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" So I just bet that, like, because I saw you're 8-8, so I figured like Roquan must be like minus 200 or minus 250, and it was minus 150, and I was like,
"What was that on? Which one was that on?"
It was like Bovada, like offshore.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because it was like minus 190 or 200 on DK when I played it. So
I think because the first time I checked, it was plus money a number higher. So I think it did that thing where it had just dropped down. Because I think money must have been coming in on the under. I don't know who was betting that, but just the way the market was moving, it was going down. So yeah, I don't know. I was very thankful to get that note because Bovada's pricing is normally worse than market. You know what I mean? It's not really a value kind of book. So I don't know, but I was very happy to catch that like around game time, you know. And Roquan's a beast. And one more thing to shout out from this game that we don't have to talk about the Dolphins anymore, but Greg Dulcich going forward is a good move. I was looking out for his lines all day. That would have been my last ad, but there was nothing, unfortunately, until maybe 5 minutes before game time or something. I think it went on 4.5 yards on MGM, when they're the only one to do it or whatever. But yeah, he's the pass catching guy because Tanner Connor, the guy, the double first name guy, is a blocker only out there. He had one target early and then nothing after that. So Dulcich, I think if we get a super low number next week, I think that would be a pretty solid look because they missed the tight end position. They need someone else besides Waddle. Because no offense to your boy, I wanted to say it on the show, Malik Washington unfortunately fucking sucks. It's a guy that's drafted him 20% in best ball, in back-to-back years. I was hoping he'd be more than a gadget guy. Obviously, he had Yak in college. There was some upside there, but he just gets checked. He doesn't do anything. His one play that was a yards after catch play too, where he made a guy miss out there. But still, just not a NFL wide receiver. Unfortunately, more of a gadget player, which is not great for my best ball stocks.
Yeah, no, and I wish they had the return yards on there because that's really what kind of separates him. In a lot of these leagues that I'm in, that I'll only play them in leagues that offer that too. So, we move on to this week. We'll move on. Let's get the numbers up here. 27-23, 4.93 units here so far on the year. Stu, we got a smaller slate, obviously. Obviously, a lot of buys. This week is definitely affecting, the amount of volume we have this week. But talk to me. Best game of the week, obviously outside of the Monday night game.
There's a very obvious one. Chiefs Bills, you know what I mean? That's the game of the week. I don't think anyone's going to really argue about that one. So, yeah, two AFC Titans clashing. Obviously, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. I don't really need to tell you guys, if you're watching this video, you probably know that's a fun game. So, yeah, it's kind of, I won't be cute, I'll take the easy one and make you, pick something else.
Yeah, I like that Steelers game. I do want to see Indy in Pittsburgh, right? We get a matchup here that I'm really intrigued about. Obviously, I just watched Pittsburgh face off against my Packers, so I got to watch that one while I was in South Carolina still. So that was a cool game to watch with Rodgers there. But I feel like there's still a lot of missing pieces there in Pittsburgh, or at least they're missing on some of the stuff that I wasn't expecting them to miss on preseason. So we'll see. I'm excited to see my boy Jonathan Taylor doing his thing, as always, Wisconsin out there. But, yeah, one of these weeks, right? One of these defenses has to slow them down at some point. So, obviously, I'm going to talk that game here in a little bit. But I think that one would be my game of the week for sure.
Yeah, no, that's number 2 for me. Obviously going to enjoy that one. Yeah, that's a banger. I completely agree. The Steelers are not the Mike Tomlin defense of past years. So there's a 50 total for a reason in that one. And how funny would it be if you imagine trying to tell someone there'd be a 50 total in this game before the year? Just the look ahead line or whatever, when you're setting all those lines, Daniel Jones versus 80-year-old Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh. I'm setting that line before the season at 39.5. I'm thinking Richardson might be starting by then, so definitely kind of funny how things went versus our preseason expectation.
Yes, sir. Last point before we get to some bets, Stu. We're kind of on a little cold streak on Dogs of the Week. We got to get back on track. Where are you going this week for Dogs of the Week? I got mine. I think we might be on the same one. I'm curious.
Yeah, so this week fucking sucks.
It does. I have one that I kind of like, and it's just a buy low, obviously.
You want
me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay.
Is it going to be the Panthers?
No, I wish. I'm going to be there, and I think they will cover. I do think the Panthers do cover. But I have – let me pull up just my line chopper here just to make sure. I kind of think I'm going to go to a gross one after probably the worst performance of all time last week, and I hate Raheem Morris, but I think I'm taking Atlanta at +5.5. I feel like that's just 2.5 too many. I know Drake May's been really, really good, but you look at the Falcons outside of they've had 2 duds this year, right? They've had 2 really bad duds. You also got to remember they put a couple beatings on some people, man. That game against the Bills might be one of the best performances from a mid team, right? That we've seen, right? I just think that this is a spot where it's you could not be on a lower spot than they just are against Miami. Everybody's looking at New England. They just fucking beat the Browns. Everybody's talking about how they smoked the Browns. Myles Garrett still got fucking 5 sacks, right? It wasn't like a clean game. It's just the Browns offense literally did nothing and gave them 3 short fields. So I'm going to Atlanta. I think 5.5 is a little too much. I wanted to check if I could get a 6 somewhere, but it's looking like 5.5 is that spot.
Yeah, no, I like it. I'm with you there. I mean, it's ugly. And like you said, the 6 would be nice, but there's a reason it's kind of not getting to 6 as well. Like, May is interesting because he's obviously in MVP conversations, but they've had the easiest strength of schedule by far this year. Like, his passing volume hasn't been super high. He's been super efficient downfield, and he's just kind of relying on that efficiency, right? Well, Atlanta's really good at limiting explosive plays. They've got a really good safety in Bates. They've got a really good corner in Terrell. Like, I don't know. I think they could make this a pretty good game. The problem is, what does Atlanta look like on offense? Because that's a little bit scary. And I assume Penix is back. That seems to be the way the wind is blowing so far. And London obviously being back as well. So you're going to need that to be a thing because obviously I've written about it a couple of times this year, but the Patriots have not allowed a 50-yard rusher so far this year. Not a single back has cleared 50 yards against the Patriots. They invested in that front and they're good. So, they take care of business in the rushing game. And obviously that's where Atlanta likes to live. They play a lot out of the pistol and they really rely on Bijan and Algier to get the job done. So what are you going to look like when you face some adversity? Because like I said, the Atlanta Falcons to me are like a UFC fighter that's quit on the stool a couple times so far. Like, I'm not liking the fight these guys have in them, and I'm not liking the coaching either, obviously, like you kind of mentioned. So some reasons to be concerned, but also some red flags for the Patriots that I think people aren't really addressing enough.
And also you get to toss Kirk Cousins, bring in Penix, and you get your second best offensive weapon back that you were planning on playing with all week, and then he just says he's not playing on Sunday. Right? There was nothing in the injury report till Saturday. I have him in fantasy that didn't say questionable till Saturday. So that's obviously a big wrench in your plans when your number one option outside is out.
Yeah, no, I agree. On that one. Man, I'm having a hard time with these fucking dogs this week.
That's what I said. I thought you were going to do the same one as me, to be honest.
Yeah, but man, I don't like the red flags for Atlanta are there too. Like, I don't like betting on this team when they can't run. Like, I don't. It's like I said, it literally feels like I would have to click on a UFC fighter, even if he's a dog, even if he's plus 250 and he's got first round knockout upside. He's a quitter. I don't want to bet on that guy. The Falcons are that version.
I'll give you, if you want, I'll give you the Cardinals if you want to take Monday night for the dog, because this is all week. So if you wanted to do that, I
don't want the fucking Cardinals.
I know you're stuck, but I'm just giving you options here.
I mean, I'll go Carolina. We'll buy on Carolina.
I think that's too big, bro. Especially, I'm gonna be there, but the Packers are fucking notorious for walking through this shit all the time, where they just fucking. Like, all right, we'll win by like 10. It happened against fucking Cincinnati earlier this year. Obviously, the Cleveland game. So,
the thing I don't like, I wish their backup running backs weren't kind of good. Like Emmanuel Wilson.
He's really good.
Like, they come in and they don't give up. They keep going. So that's the annoying part, I think. But Carolina, the thing is, I wish they put up a little bit more of a fight last week just because their run defense sneakily was trending towards being one of the better in the league. And then that kind of gets shred apart when you get torn, up last week the way they did. So that's the one concerning part. But I think Josh Jacobs really hasn't been super efficient this year. I mean, it's kind of like Saquon Barkley.
He's not like at all.
These other veterans, it just hasn't been that spark that we saw. So I think Carolina could mitigate it. I don't think they're going to stop him, but I think it's going to be one of those where it's slower and it's, he gives you one of those 18 for 75 and a touchdown or two kind of games. So it's a grind you out kind of game. Carolina, they want to grind you out as well. I'm curious. I wish they'd leaned more into Dowdle quicker, but it looks like that's what they're going to do moving forward. The coach finally Canales said it, and it makes sense. Dowdle's just been better by every metric, so you got to let him cook. So I'm curious what letting Dowdle cook. I bet Dowdle 100 rush yards yesterday. After the first quarter, he had 37 something. I was like, if they can just keep this somewhat close, he should be able to clear this. And they just kind of got their asses kicked, but I'm not sure. if that's going to be the case here, I think they can keep it close enough. So I'll take the 14-point underdog. I think they can. It was between them and the Saints. It's like, which team do I think can keep it closer? But I think the market is a little too negative on Carolina.
All righty. I like it. Let's get into some bets. We got 25 of you guys in here live with us right now. We'll take a peek here at the chat before we get rolling. We got Sports Near being our first guy in. Awesome. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about Parker Washington already. I'm sure it'll be the chalk of all chalk and DFS streets this week with the Travis Hunter news. Any thoughts from Tyrone bringing up the Broncos being dogs at Houston? I don't know. I still am not the biggest Bo Nix guy yet, so I'm still not a huge.
That's the one that it feels like they want you to take. Like when I'm looking through, that's the one that sticks. Especially, I think you can even still get like a 2.5 in some books, not -110, but -115, which is still reasonable. But like two good defenses and bad quarterbacks, like it's kind of tough to predict. But I've been notoriously very anti Bo Nix on the show. And I really do not want to bet on him when a game gets real grimy and ugly, so it's kind of hard. But I don't know. I have no clue what's going to happen in that game. That's one of the less predictable ones of the week for sure.
Yeah, and with that low total, I don't mind betting the dog, but that'd be more like a teaser for me. Probably try to get it past that touchdown because, I don't know, in these types of games, it's always tough. And there's injuries still around it. You don't have Surtain, too. Like, that's fucking huge. Like, that's Defensive Player of the Year, bro, last year. Like, to lose that.
I forgot about that, actually. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
You literally have one option on the other side that you're worried about, and that's Nico Collins. And now you have the one guy who is just going to run around with him the entire game. And, I mean, maybe they double Collins this week, but that's, like, not really what the Broncos do, right? So it's, like, it's tough. You got to kind of change your entire defensive scheme when you take out your best defensive player. I mean, they're going to get a fuck ton of pressure on CJ Stroud. So maybe I'll roll with my boy Woody Marks for some more catches. We'll see.
I like that. I wish I bet it last week, honestly, but it was actually garbage time. He didn't go over until like the very end, but still.
Yeah, he just had that 140 or 50-yard catch, which I was looking at yards just because dude. Last thing, how can you possibly watch that team and think like, okay, let's give Nick Chubb the ball over this dude? Woody Marks is like actually breaking tackles, running past people, and then I watch Nick Chubb to go there. It looks fucking slow-mo. It's like actually slow-mo.
It's just that they're a team that like idealizes that like grinder type of back, where when you're a defensive football team, you want a guy that'll give you like 3-4 yards at a time. And like Woody Marks will give you like -1 or 7, and I think they just want the 3. And I know it's not sexy and people hate it. And in my opinion, that's not really how you win in the modern NFL. But these defensive guys are like, we can talk about Charbonnet as well and McDonald, like these kind of coaches that are a little bit more conservative and want to let their defense cook. They want a guy that'll like slowly command the game, like real budget versions of Derrick Henry, where you just keep chipping at him, and then hopefully you break something off.
Yes, sir. Well, it's time for some bets. And that is also a good reason why, Coop. Yeah, your offensive coordinator sucks. That's another. Okay, I just got my Havenstein and Puka are playing this week officially. I got my messages. It's always usually at this time on Friday, but we're usually done by now. So like this is usually right when our show is done. But let's get to some bets. I'm going to start out here. -110. I was very surprised to get a number like this, and that's Jared Goff, 200 passing yards, Mahomes 250. Over on FanDuel right now. Goff at home, man. That's really all I got to say. Goff at home. Add on top of it that you have, the number one blitz team with Brian Flores, and Goff has been, I think, over the last 3 years, the best quarterback against the blitz. No one blitzes him, right? No one blitzes him because he's that good against it, and I don't think the Vikings can play without doing that. I just that's their identity, man. Like we're gonna send the house at you. You're gonna be under pressure. You're gonna have to make plays. And we've seen, with a good offensive line and obviously Goff being able to stand in the pocket and take some hits, he's been really, really good in these matchups. You get him at home as well in a dome. Really like Goff this week in that one. I bought him down a little lower just because there is, I don't know if it's just me just having PTSD from last week watching fucking Kamani Vidal just do whatever the fuck he wanted against this guys. So that's maybe sitting in the back of my head a little bit on why I bought him down more. But I mean, anytime he throws the ball, he should be chunk playing these dudes. So I think I'm going to roll with the efficiency and obviously buying it down a little bit. I think his normal line's 240. But going over to Mahomes, you get the marquee matchup of the week. Obviously, you talked about it as the big screen game. I believe the Chiefs are now number one in passing over expectation. I believe I saw that somewhere when I looked down there. I believe they're number one now. They passed the Chargers when we talked about Herbert there. But, I mean, Mahomes is playing MVP football again. I mean, he's just out there chucking it. I never thought I'd say that again after watching him last year and just suck in fantasy forever the entire year last year. But I think they realized, we can't just turn it on again, right? We have to have it, right? We have to be rolling, man. And to win these 17-10 games only can get you so far when you have that little margin of error. Now the Chiefs are blowing fucking doors off people. And that's what I kind of expected last year when you're drafting, Kelsey high, you're drafting Mahomes high. Now everybody's down on him. Now he's like, okay, we'll do it again. We still have it. I don't want to pick between Rice. I don't want to pick between Worthy. I don't want to pick between Kelsey. Just give me fucking Mahomes, man. I think that he's going to just chuck this ball around here. I think on top of it, Isaiah Pacheco being out actually probably helps. Maybe we get a little bit more of our SMU boy out there catching some passes. So maybe we get a little bit more dump down opportunities there because obviously Pacheco's just running as fucking hard as humanly possible into people. So maybe we'll get it. Maybe we'll get a little bit more of the finesse, throw him around a little bit. Maybe we start pushing into the 40 pass attempts mark. But these last couple of weeks have been blowouts, and he still got there, right? He still got over the 250 mark. I believe he's hit this in every game but two. One of them against the Eagles and one of them against the Giants, where they kind of had that one under wraps for a little while there. So I like both of these. I'm very surprised I can get minus 110. So I'm feeling pretty damn good about it.
I agree. I mean, I just looked it up. Jared Goff in 10 games against the Vikings has never gone under 200 passing yards because the argument against Goff is really simple. It's the two running backs. Like, are they going to beat the shit out of him? You're essentially, with your betting on your boy, J.J. McCarthy, your boy, one of your favorite quarterbacks, to keep this game somewhat in strike.
Well, I think he goes for 200 in the first half like last week, and then he gets benched in the fourth quarter. He's so fucking trash.
I don't think he can possibly get benched. I think Carson Wentz is going to try to get out there. He's going to my shoulder, and he's going to go down. So I don't even think it's possible. I think Max, whatever the fuck his name is,
Rosman,
ain't in there either. Yeah.
Dude,
Minnesota.
Maybe Aaron Jones plays fucking quarterback, bro.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, true, he does in the red zone. So, yeah, I mean, he's got
I've seen him throw a few times when he was with the Packers. He's probably better.
It would be kind of funny. But either way, that's kind of the one problem with Goff. But I mean, when you look back at the history, they've had Monty, they've had Gibbs for a long time, and they've been running teams down, and he's still consistently, gone over this number. And then I'm fully with you on Mahomes. Their passing offense is fully keyed in right now. I think you nailed it. Last year, we kind of talked about like a lot of that is like a down year, funnily enough. They went to the fucking Super Bowl. That's just the kind of team they are. But I mean, either way, like when you look at it, they took the year off. I mean, like you said, the regular season, they were like, chilling. They were letting their defense do a lot of the work. They weren't really game planning with their like it's kind of the Andy Reid special, like save your best plays for the end. And then once they got to the playoffs, they just looked as dead. It's like they're trying to light the fire, and it's just not taken. I think you kind of nailed it. This year, they're like, no, we actually need to like play real football all year and like kind of get into that winning mindset and, have that momentum. And they're locked in, obviously getting Rice back. I'm curious what they put Rashad Smith rushing at, honestly. I might like.
I don't think I saw anything yet just because I saw that it was officially ruled out today. Yeah. So that's obviously you needed that information, right? So I think I haven't seen anything yet, unfortunately.
Yeah, because his receiving is at 20, which is a little higher than I'd hoped, but fair enough, I think. And his rushing, I don't know what it would be, but I would honestly consider an under if it's kind of high, because I think Kareem Hunt just carries, 13-ish times. Rashad maybe 3-4 on later downs, maybe 5. But if it's a close passing game, I don't think they're going to put him between the tackles in a game like this. For sure.
All right, Stu, it is your turn. I know you got one spot for us today and a long shot for us, so I'll kick it over to you. We'll be both talking about this game.
Sounds good. Yeah, we're going to one of my favorite markets. If you're watching the show, I haven't really talked about it as much this year, but we got a prime candidate here. We got Alec Pierce over 22.5 longest completion. It should just be minus 110. I guess I didn't give you the price before, but it's widely available. Everyone's got the 22.5 right now. I'd even play it to 23.5. That's kind of what I thought it would open at, honestly. And even if it does get up to 24, that would be annoying, but probably like a half unit as well. But normally it takes a bit to move that many points, you know. But yeah, I love the downfield passing aspects of this matchup right here. I was dying to bet this like essentially on Monday as soon as I realized what the matchup was, because if you guys watched that last matchup, like we saw the secondary get absolutely shredded. And the thing about it is Mike Tomlin is very like stubborn. He deserves a lot of credit for what he's done, but he's not one of those coaches that changes up his defense much. He's a guy that we have our guys are good. We're going to coach them up and they're going to go win. And we're not going to play, soft zone. We're not going to sit back. We're playing man coverage. We're playing single high coverage. And if you guys get beat against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, that's your own fault. You got to do better. And unfortunately, that's a rough strategy when you face really good players. You know what I mean? Like the modern NFL, we're so used to these two deep safeties, like keep everything in front of you. You got Mahomes, you got Allen, you got these great passing offenses. We don't see too many defenses like the Steelers that are like, hey, we're putting you guys out there on an island and you got to go win. And you win sometimes, you get turnovers, you get sacks, and then you also get cooked. And unfortunately, these last couple of years, the Steelers have been winning a lot more. This year, they've been getting cooked. Their secondary has not been good, and they've not changed. That's the other thing. They're not adjusting. They're not, okay, we need to – and they just lost Elliott, by the way, their safety, which is a big loss as well. Another guy that they have to now replace in that secondary. It's just a rough look for this team. And the talent is there. That's the kind of confusing part. But I think teams, not to say have figured out Tomlin, but I think they just know what to expect. They know what's going to happen. And Steichen is an awesome play caller. Like this guy's been fantastic this year. There's some debate on like first read target share this week on the timeline and like how important that kind of stuff is. I think one way it is kind of important is like looking at how a guy is essentially like, you can tell a lot of guys like Jones are super, super high on the first read share because they've got a great game plan and he's coming out here to execute the game plan. Caleb Williams being at like the bottom of those lists would be an example of they've got a game plan. He's going out there and trying to make his own game plan, and it's like, that doesn't necessarily mean anything on the surface. It's just a piece of the puzzle and it's good information. And Daniel Jones goes out there and he fucking executes the game plan. He's not creating on his own. We're not seeing all these crazy scrambles. Like he's going out there and whatever the play call is, he's going out there and doing it. And the play call has been fucking awesome. That's why they're the most efficient offense in football this year. And when you look at a guy like Pierce, he missed a couple weeks. I mean, sneakily one of the best deep threats in football. I saw a tweet from The Athletic, like, Alec Pierce is going to get paid next year, like a team, because the Colts aren't going to give him money. Like he's going to legit get a surprisingly high contract this offseason because at the end of the day, every single team needs a guy that can consistently win downfield. And so far this year, Alec Pierce has been doing exactly that. Pierce leads the league in air yards per game against single high coverage. He's averaging 82.5 air yards per game. The guy in second place is Justin Jefferson, and that's 15 air yards per game lower. I mean, it's not even close. He is dominating against single high coverage. And obviously the Steelers are a top 5 single high coverage team. In terms of just the Colts team themselves, Pierce is obviously leading them in target share and yards per route run. It's just one of those games where the Colts have been in blowouts every single week. The 3 games where they haven't been in blowouts, he's had a 25-yard catch. He's still over in 5 of 6 total games this year. So even if it is a blowout, you still have a path to victory there, but the spread is only 3.5. I'd probably make it a little bit more, honestly. I like the Colts. I think they take care of business again, but Pierce is going to be part of that game plan. If I can see all these numbers and I can see how effective Pierce is clearly going to be with these one-on-one matchups, I think Steichen is going to be able to as well. And yeah, I just think there's a lot of big play upside against the Steelers defense that they're going to sack you. They're going to have some good plays, but they're also going to give up some big plays as well. And Pierce, I think, is just clearly going to be a huge part of that game plan.
Yeah. And I mean, I also just pull mine up here too. One of the other things I like too is just, you're winning those one-on-one matchups, TJ Watt, they're trying to get that pressure on you real quick. But if you don't, I mean, these guys are islands, bro. Like you're really screwed.
I just want to say TJ Watt's being chipped on 50% of his snaps this year. Like every team is just like, fuck it. Let's just try to take him out the game and make throws. And that's essentially what's been happening.
Yeah, because I mean, the Steelers have given up 350 passing yards, I believe, in 3 of their last 4 games. And I think the last one was Jordan Love. I don't even know what he ended up with. I just saw he completed 20 consecutive passes, bro. 20. Even when they were in good coverage, they were giving up the catches, bro. Like the one to Tucker Kraft. Guys in front of him, he just goes over and catches it, right? I mean, there was a couple down the field where they're there. It's just they're kind of old, bro. They're a little slow yet. And I really like Daniel Jones in this spot. I love the Caleb comparison, or like the anti-Caleb comparison here, where it's just he's quick enough to make the reads, though. Like he reads through it, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1 and 2 aren't open. We're at the third. And it doesn't hurt that, obviously Joey Porter Jr. Is out there on the outside for Pitt. It doesn't hurt that you don't really have a number one, right? They don't really have one, right? Josh Downs came back last week, had 3 catches, 50 yards on the first drive, right? Just because they can. Just because they're like, fuck it, we didn't have him for a while. Let's make him happy. He hasn't played in 2 games. All right, he has a 50-yard drive. Then the next one is Tyler Warren has a 50-yard drive. Then the next one, they just decide they're going to run the whole fucking drive. But then you go down the list, it's like Pittman's still there, right? I mean, there's just so many weapons. And yes, they may not be like, top of the line, high-end superstar guys, but they're good enough to win against your 2s and 3s. Like they're going to win. And obviously Daniel Jones is putting the ball right on them. And you look down some of these games for him. He's got to the 225 in his last 2 games, obviously a little bit more competitive in that Chargers game. The 2 games that he missed, I believe the Arizona game was, you might as well just call it the Jonathan Taylor game, where he had like 180 and 3 touchdowns. And a couple of those longer ones that kind of just kill drives as a quarterback there. But he's hit it against, Tennessee's 316 on Denver, right? And then you go down this list. It's like, it's pretty impressive. And again, really not any of those like super high end dudes, but everybody's eating, man. Everybody's eating in this offense. And it's just, it's really fun to see as I am a Daniel Jones stand before the season. That's like probably my best take of the season right there. Just rolling with my 40% Daniel Jones and best ball. So we're very happy with that. CMC, I think I only have one lineup with CMC. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton of them. But dude's been phenomenal. Obviously, I think you look down the list of like all these games, right? And you look at these games they're winning, and what's the common denominator, right? CMC is almost 150 yards a game when they're winning these games, right? You look at the Atlanta game, 200 total, right? Then you look at the Tampa Bay game they lost, he had 100 total. You look at Houston they just lost, he had 68, right? And then you go Rams, he had 140, right? And they win that one. They lose when he had 49 rushing yards in the game against Jacksonville, right? Just give this fucker the ball, man. Obviously, Brock Purdy coming back really helps out. I think the big thing for me, too, is getting George Kittle back, right? Some people might think that's not great because he gets more targets. Bro, George Kittle's fucking awesome in the run game, dude. This dude is good. He is a phenomenal run blocker, bro. And bringing him in there to get dirty in those plays is awesome. CMC's like receiving upside is not going anywhere, bro. Like Purdy, like he's open every play. It's just deciding if you want to make something happen down the field. Mac Jones is pretty well known as a guy who kind of locks on to somebody and just goes there, right? I mean, Brian Thomas out in Jacksonville this year, it's fucking Kendrick Bourne. He's the number 1 receiver. Like you look at their season numbers, he's their number 1 guy. If you look at receivers there, but you kind of seen that in these games where it's just like 15 targets on a dude. Now it's Purdy. Purdy should be back this week. I think they were saying that this was
maybe.
I read quite a few places that he's playing, or at least
we'll see. He's limited still though. I want a full practice before I'm trusting him. Especially when Shanahan every fucking week talks about how conservative they want to be. But personally, I don't care who the quarterback is. I think no.
But if I want to go to like his straight line, I would want Purdy in there for that one. On that, just because I don't want him to lock in on those receivers. And now you have a lot more options, right? Because Jennings is back in there, even though he's bitching about shit. You got Kittle out there. Tongus even is out there in those 2 tight end sets, catching passes still. I just like buying low on this. You couldn't get a worse game from McCaffrey than last week. It's because they didn't have the fucking ball. They had it for like 8 minutes in the first half. Mind you, that's what it takes for CMC not to get there. He had 70 rushing receiving yards last week in 11 touches. 11 touches, and they barely had the ball. So I guess I really don't care who's in there, but I do think Purdy's going to play, and I think this is the game that they get it because, hey, those scrappy Seahawks, baby, they're there. They're right on them. I'm ready for them. They're ready to take over. Can't give them those extra ones. So sign me up. I'm going with the little double up.
Yeah, no, I like the combo a lot. Obviously, I like Daniel Jones. Like I said, my one concern with Pierce is just I think all those guys can kind of eat, and that kind of takes away the pressure when you just take Daniel Jones. So definitely like that spot. And yeah, I said in my Discord I wanted to bet CMC last night at 67.5 rush yards, and I fucking woke up in the morning and it was 77.5. So someone clearly had the same idea. But yeah, 2 weeks ago they said, what was that Shanahan quote? Something like he put his hand on like his shoulder or whatever and was like, it's going to be like a fucking CMC week. Like that's what it's going to, he told everyone all week, it's going to be a CMC week. Like, I think that's the vibe again this week of like, look, their pass rush is good. Like, let's just run the fucking ball all day. Our defense, we got to keep them off. We don't want our defense out there that much because it's not really a strength anymore. Let's just run the freaking ball. And I think that's what CMC is going to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I really hope that is the case as well. And honestly, I don't even mind his receptions. If you want to do the buy down stuff, then you get 5 catches at like 290 as a nice parlay piece. It's just the dude's volume is like fucking unmatched. And really the only way he doesn't get it is they just don't have the fucking ball, right? And that was one of the most impressive performances I've seen like in a half that I think I've ever seen. Houston literally had the ball for 22 minutes in the first half. That's incredible.
Yeah, it was disgusting. As someone that had Kittle like first quarter yards and was just like, oh, you're
just not going to touch it, are you?
Yeah, and then I checked back next quarter. I'm like, oh, they still don't. It was like the Raiders-Chiefs game from the week before where I had Jack fucking Beck 3 catches, and it's the perfect game script. And I'm like, oh, nice. They threw the ball 12 times all game. Like, perfect NFL. Like, oh, yeah, obviously I knew that was going to happen. So, shout out the Raiders. They're the one team we didn't talk about as well. Probably the other ugly dog that could maybe have snuck into our combo. But, like, who the fuck wants to bet on the Raiders,
I agree. Dowdle was named the starter. Blue brings in here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what with Canales earlier in the week.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean, look at the box score from last week. You know what I mean? Like, it was obviously happening. And the advanced metrics have been saying it for weeks. So finally, I don't want to. Yeah, he finally made the right call.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I think this might be a Quay Walker tackles week for your boy. On these teams that run the fuck out of the ball, dude, Quay Walker is always there. Always there. If they're gonna give me an 8.5 and it's like not juiced, that will be on the card for sure. It'll be there, dude. It'll be there. I'll be fucking out there screaming, Quay, get the fuck in every tackle, bro. I need 12, bro. Let's go.
I bet it's a 9.5 if I had to guess, honestly. But
yeah, I think we might. The only reason I think we might get an 8.5 is because we've seen a couple of these games where they just don't have the ball. Right, and they just hold on to the ball, and the Packers have been pretty good at doing the little takeaway shit and just icing games out. So,
yeah.
Alrighty. Let's go through a quick recap, and then Stu, we're talking long shots with you, so I'll kick it over to you to start off.
Sounds good. Yep, we got my boy Alec Pierce of the Colts over 22.5, longest completion -110. Played that up to 23.5, and then if it does get to 24, I'd go like a half unit on that probably.
Awesome. And I'll be rolling Daniel Jones, CMC, a little parlay there, -125, as well as Goff and Mahomes, -110, both on FanDuel today. I don't have a long shot here, Stu, so far. What do you got for your long shot here for this slate?
Yep, I'm going with Drake London, 8 receptions at +3.
That.
And even if you have Hard Rock, by the way, you can get +450. And if you have Rivers, you can get 400. But most of the other books are in that 350 range. So that's what we're going to go with. Honestly, Drake London, 5.5 still could maybe be a play for me this week as well. It's plus money right now. Just scrolling through, like, it's one of those that catches you off guard, similar to when like Justin Jefferson is like a 5.5 at like a reasonable enough price, where like if London is healthy, which I mean, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but it looks like he's going to play. And obviously if you're in the NFL and you're going to get out there, I assume he's going to be good enough. I'll check up with the injury, doctor guys to make sure. But it seems like we're going to get a mostly full go, and it seems like Penix is going to be back out there. I don't know how you couldn't just aggressively attack Drake London after what happened last week, because obviously you get your ass kicked like that, you lose your best weapon in that, or he's not there for that game. And so it was embarrassing, and obviously you want to bounce back. But when you look at the Patriots rush defense is good. Third best rush defense in football. They haven't allowed a single running back to clear 50 yards so far this year. They're locked down. So if you're not going to be able to establish that ground game with Bijan or Algier, you're likely in more passing situations. And Drake London, people are scared of Gonzalez. That's why the lines are so low. I get it. Gonzalez is a good corner. But it's like in the NBA trying to match up a point guard and a point guard. Like, you're going to miss each other so much. They line up London all over the place. He's not one of those guys like my boy Terry McLaurin who just lines up on the left side and never moves. Like, it's so easy to game plan for a Terry McLaurin. London's all over the place. He's going to be 50% in the slot. He's going to be out wide. They're going to move him all around. And I think Gonzalez is going to be on him for some of those plays, but obviously I don't think he's going to be on him all game. And honestly, when you got a really good wide receiver and you got a really good corner, like, I'm going to trust the wide receiver in a lot of these matchups. I think Gonzalez is good, but I think it's one of those where I think the market is being a little bit too scared and a little bit too intimidated. And personally, when I look at this game, they're underdogs. They're not expected to get that running game going. Who's the option? Is it not spam the Drake London button, the thing that was clearly not available to you last week and what crumbled the offense? Because I don't know, even Mooney under seemed kind of live to me as well. Like, it's just not one of those games where sacrifice Mooney on the outside to Gonzalez. You got to worry about him too. The rest of the Patriots cornerbacks, Marcus Jones, they're undersized as well. So it's one of those things where, like, I would just be moving London all around and just spamming the London button. I think that's what's going to happen. So 8 catches plus 350. I like yards as well. It's just like with the slot usage and kind of shorter yardage stuff, I think catches is probably a little bit safer, but I could definitely see some explosive plays as well.
Yeah, dude, I really like this spot, dude. And the reason why I like it even more is just we've been seeing Penix's ability to just be like, okay, let's just throw the fucking slant to this guy. Doesn't matter if the guy's on his hip. The dude's hands are fucking awesome, dude. You're just watching him just catch it and just stick it. All right, 8 yards, right? And it's just a stick, and we're going. Honestly, I know I'm kind of giving away some of my stuff here, bro, but I kind of like mini stacking that game in DFS a little bit with London run back and obviously the rushing upside for Drake May. I think this game stays a little bit closer than that 5.5 point indicate, and I think this game has a little sneaky shootout. It could be a little sneaky shootout out there in this one, but people only looking for those 50 plus totals. I think this one has a chance, right? You have really high end dudes on both sides, and obviously if you want to run Drake May naked out there with no receivers, just because you kept the guess like on which one is going to go crazy.
Because there's no Ramondre, so they're not going to run the ball. So you got to match him with. I would even do like a DeMario, like get creative, mix it up a little bit. DeMario Douglas has been more involved recently, something like that. I would just not do Hunter Henry because Jesse Bates is going to be all over that.
Yeah, no, I feel like if I go there, like you can't play May without Diggs, right? Then you look down the thing and then like you kind of have to. You kind of have to because Diggs' price is not that high. It's not a number one receiver price tag, right? And being able to have a guy run back on the other side is just nice. And obviously when you have Drake May running on one side, hopefully Drake London's able to run it back on the other one. So I do like the spots, but I do like the ability for him to be in the slot. And they've been running him out of the slot quite a bit lately. And it's been really good. It's been great for fantasy owners too, because he started to kind of turn up a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think this game could be fun for like a lot of different props, honestly. Even like Drake May sneakily to get an interception, I think is solid. It's like plus 130 because no Ramondre, like they don't trust Henderson. Like I don't think people realize, like I think they're going to run to the window. I'm trying to see what his line is. I see 55.5 right now. Like I would not really feel comfortable betting the over because the Falcons rush defense isn't great, but I don't know. I don't like, they don't seem to like Henderson as much as Twitter does. And I think that's a hard disconnect for a lot of people when you like, there are a lot of smart analysts and these guys have like, are sharp, but when you dig your heels into something, I don't know. So maybe it's going to be, what's that backup's name? Terrell Johnson, Jennings, something like that. Maybe it's going to be him sneaking a touchdown or something. That seems like that would make Twitter appropriately mad.
Oh my god, bro! I gotta go pick up Kyle Monunga now.
Did Swift just get ruled out?
He just got ruled out.
Okay, I should do that too, low-key.
I might go cut Dalton Schultz and pick him up next week because who the fuck?
We're doing a show right now and we're both picking up guys in our fucking fantasy league live.
Well, fucking Woody Marks is getting his ass to the bench. His ass is going to the bench. No, I ain't got to worry about that.
No, as someone that has a shit team right now this week with
Dude,
some vibes,
you're talking to the wrong guy, bro. My team's fucking ass this week. I got no Breece Hall, no Rashad White. I fucking had to play Malik Washington because I have DJ Moore who's probably hurt.
I might actually drop DJ Moore for him right now, funnily enough.
I just dropped Dalton Schultz just because I'm gonna have to pick up a tight end next week. I can stream one next week. I got no issue with that, but we got to make it through this weekend. Getting a nice fucking 6-piece from Malik Washington and going up against Mark Andrews, who's been dog shit this year. Catches 2 passes, 2 touchdowns. Really, that's what we're gonna do on me? Yep, Blue. That's what we're talking about right now, buddy. It's Monungai season.
I'm curious what those lines open at because
Monungai's going to be up there, bro. That dude's going to get a lot of fucking carries.
I'll probably just auto click whatever the opener is, just for the fans that are here watching right now. I'm a fan of whatever that number is because I like the Bears this week since he's the worst defense in football. No Hendrickson. Man, that could be awesome. So, and also they rolled out Burden and stuff, which is good.
And I think I also saw Roshan in there. I think I did see.
I'm not sure. They fucking hate Roshan anyway, though. So I'd almost like if Roshan played, so we could have some like hipsters be like, "It's a Roshan week" when it's never a Roshan.
Dude, he's in the biggest doghouse of all time, bro.
Yeah,
Roshan Johnson and DeAndre Swift.
Is Roshan out too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer because I know Twitter guys like Roshan, and I know they pump him up.
Dude, it's probably got to open at what 65.
I'd play 65. I'd set it if I wanted to avoid people betting it. I'd put like 70 probably, just because the matchup is so good. Like it's so.
Oh yeah, you can't beat this matchup, bro. And I am playing the Bears defense here too. I have the Bears. I just picked up the Bears defense. I just told you that yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, that's a good spot. That's a good spot. I like. I'm curious what they put that at, but I'm definitely a fan. But maybe it'll be super high as well, which is a little concerning.
Perks of being live on the show here, right?
Yeah. Okay. What's your final guess for what they put it at? I'll say opening number.
I think I might even look at his receiving too, bro.
Yeah.
He's had a couple. I've seen him have quite a few dump downs, bro.
Who even do they have on the roster? I know we got like some Bears guys in the chat. Like who would even be left to call from the practice squad or something? You know, because someone. I wish that would be sick. I love Tariq Cohen. we had what's his name come back? Naeem Hines. Anything's possible. You know, if he can come back.
Maybe they only bring him. Maybe they only have one, and then they just run shotgun, no running back for the rest of the game.
Someone's coming up from the practice squad. I just have no clue, and I don't have time to look at that right now.
I would say rushing receiving is probably 81 to 85, and I'm betting that.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I hope it's reasonable. We'll see what happens. We'll see if maybe because a lot of people don't even really know Monungai, you know. So
Rucker, baby, that dude's still getting the ball 30 fucking carries, boy. That dude is literally just everything you want when there's no other back there. That's what I'm saying. Like they might only bring up one dog shit guy to just be a kick returner and get out there once every 3 drives.
Ooh, Travis Homer will do pass catching stuff probably. That's because Homer's a special teamer, core special teamer.
Yeah, that fits kind of what we're just talking about there. But
yeah,
one guy has workhorse fucking workload before, dude. 30 something carries is crazy, bro.
No, and it was like every game. I mean, in the
red country, baby. He went to Chicago. He's in Big Ten country. He's ready, dude.
Yeah, no, I like it. Yeah, nice little breaking news thing there at the end because, you know, I'm sure there'll be more like that as well, but definitely like that. Hopefully we get some lines soon.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so anything else from you here before we get out?
Is there anyone any like crazy long shots I had or anything I want to shout out? I don't think. I feel like I had something, but I don't know. Well, either way, you know, I was calling out alt lines on the Ravens and stuff. Since we won't be on the show until then, how about Seattle -9.5 minus 17.5 and like maybe minus 21 or something. I don't know. Like I think that I'll probably play some of that because even Daniels being back, if that's the case, which
he is. They officially say that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm scared, man. I'm scared. I don't think they're going to call design runs for him. Like the way they talk about Daniels is like he's in bubble wrap this year. And it kind of feels like they know we're not going to win. And they know we got Daniels on a rookie contract. And like maybe this year is a push, you know, we're 3-5. Like we're not going to trade for anyone good. And our defense is dog shit. So I don't know. Seattle is kind of like the budget Colts where they're just super efficient, like extremely efficient. So I would say I'm very concerned with Washington, even with Daniels back and the offense healthy. I think they could be a more popular dog this week. Just people saying like, oh, look, they're finally getting some value back. But once again, my problem with Washington's always on the defensive side of the ball. Is like, what are those guys going to do? So that's my last little thing there, I guess. Little long shot, extra bonus. But yeah, excited to win some bets. Happy Halloween to everyone that's getting a little spooky tonight. And yeah, excited to be back here on Monday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, Kyle Monangai season, baby. It's that time, right? They're ready for us. So hopefully we can cash in on those. Also, just Jay Daniels, make it through this week safe so I can fucking start you next week against like goddamn Lions, bro. Give me that.
Yeah.
I want that so bad. I'm ready for it, bro. I'm ready for it. You get Terry back next week. Debo, I'm ready, bro. I'm ready for that big game from you. I need you next week. I need him next week. And then he has Miami, bro. Make it through this week healthy, and let's go. Let's do this thing. And then you got to buy, and then we're chilling. I ain't going to start you probably until maybe Dallas at the end of the year.
See, I could get – if we went 3-0 into the bye, then I'm fired up again right now. You know, see, now I'm all out on the team. Like, we're kind of rough.
They got fucking easy the next couple weeks. Not easy, but like Miami, you're getting a free win at the end of it.
Yeah, so but the first two are the important ones. If we lose those two, Miami doesn't fucking matter, okay? Yeah. We got to win the first two.
I'm looking down this list, bro. You got Minnesota. You guys can win that game, bro. You got the Giants.
But it's like, what is happening? What even happens if Washington stumbles in the playoffs? We probably get our asses beat. Like that defense is really bad. I don't know. It's just like it's tough. It's tough. I want to.
I'm a little bit more positive. I think more positively than you. Even though I'm a Wisconsin sports fan and that just never ends well. So I try to be positive when I can be. I think you guys can stumble in the playoffs.
Yeah, my thing is just like it's the reason why I like us more against the Lions than I do against Seattle, because the Lions will play the kind of football game we want.
You get a shootout. That's what you want.
Exactly. That's how we win. Like Seattle is going to ball control the fuck out of us, like boring runs, and then bam, 40 yards down the field, JSN touchdown strike. You know what I mean? And their defense is really good. Like I don't know. I'm scared of those kind of games. And Packers are the perfect example. We saw it earlier in the year in primetime. And once again, I was not really pessimistic about that game optimistic about that game against the Packers. But like teams that can just kind of beat you multiple different ways, slow the game down. It's just it's an ugly matchup. But hey, hoping we pulled the upset. Like I said, I might be there. I don't know. Maybe I'll get talked into it tonight, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be at the Packer game this weekend. Making it out there for that Carolina game. Once they signed Micah, all these ticket prices fucking went through the fucking roof. So makes it a little tougher.
Like real good now. So
yeah, and they got all the hype at the beginning of the season too. When they beat the shit out of the Lions and stuff. So just add that on top of having to deal with all the traffic and shit. It's not. Usually try to make it to a couple games throughout the year, but this will be my first one this year outside of a preseason one. So. It'll be fun. I'll be ready to get after it.
Sounds good.
All right, Stu. We'll catch you guys Monday. We got the GOAT in action on Monday Night Football, who's coming off of the worst game of his career. So I'm ready for a 450. Dak, baby. Fucking Dak season. It's Dak season against fucking Arizona. Let's go for 15 catches, Jake Ferguson. Let's get the fuck out of here. You got a 0 last week. It's time to eat.
Okay, before we go, how chalk is Trey McBride? What 6.5 catches going to be?
Trey McBride 5 catches, Ferguson 5 catches should be minus 700.
Bro, how is all I know is Arizona has been spending all fucking week just thinking about how they can fuck with us. Like, oh yeah, they think it's going to be Trey McBride. Wait till they see fucking Hudson Patterson or whatever. Like some 4-string tight. Like hey, I'm telling you,
Trey McBride. I know who it's going to be.
Who?
It's gonna be Big Bad Dorch, baby. It's gonna be Big Bad Dorch with 100 piece on these boys.
Maybe it's already even. You can't even bet 6.5. I'm looking. It's minus 150 already. So I was hoping to be better, but it's so obvious. Who else is it gonna be? You know, who else is it gonna be? Maybe I'll have to bet my boy Marv out on the outside.
Yeah, you learned how to catch again, so you should be fine.
Sometimes.
Dude, I'm just gonna be spamming my refresh button on the app and just waiting for fucking Manangai to be put up on that shit.
Text me when you see it too. So
yeah, dude. If I'm looking on my like obscure book right now, and if I find it, bro, it's getting whatever I have left. Yeah, hopefully they were a little slow. Probably not that slow.
But. No, because nothing was posted. Nothing was posted. Like they were real cautious. At least most books were really cautious about that game. So there weren't any like stale lines to really pick off.
Yeah, only Bengals stuff. But hey, guys, we appreciate you. We'll see you Monday, ready to go, normal time. So hopefully we get a couple of winners here for you. Oh, shit. One more question. I passed up on Coop before we get out of here. Thoughts on Keon Coleman under 41.5? My bad, Coop.
Well, this isn't the. I like where you're coming from, but this isn't the game I'd do it in. Especially one when he just got very publicly shit talked by Steve Smith Jr., who people give like this. It's very funny. Steve Smith Jr. publicly insulted one guy, and now everyone's like, he's obviously the wide receiver whisperer, which I mean, he's a great wide receiver. I don't want to diminish his opinion, but it is really funny that people are like, this guy knows everything now, you know, because he's called Jerry Jeudy mid once. It's like we already knew Jerry Jeudy was mid, but either way,
who was arguing against that, right? Who was on the other side of that?
Yeah, exactly. But so he kind of shit on Coleman, and then Coleman tweeted about it, and then his agent tweeted about it. So I don't know. You get a little narrative in there as well. I would do this in a game where they're favorites, like they're fucking 7-point favorites every other week. I would just do it in one of those games, like last week. It would be the much, obviously you can't go back in time, but like in games where they're going to actually be engaged in passing all the time, I'm not really as interested, which is this game. But obviously in games where they're more run heavy, then I would like the under. But, you know, I mean, you know, Chiefs are cover 2 heavy. That's kind of bad for Coleman. His target share really drops against cover 2 because he's a one-on-one guy. He would be good against the Steelers. I'd want him one-on-one downfield jump ball kind of situation. And I just don't know if he's going to get many of those. So I understand the under. That's like the direction I would probably be, but they're going to pass and they're probably going to let it rip. So I would want to stay away just because he's probably going to benefit from Josh Allen being fucking awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Should be a fun game to watch. Obviously excited to check that one out. But yeah, we will be back Monday, guys, and hopefully win a couple bets for you guys. So have a good one. Best of luck this weekend, and we'll catch you on Monday.